Motherhood is often idealized as a bond of unconditional love and nurturing. We envision mothers as selfless protectors, their love a beacon of warmth and security. But what happens when this fundamental relationship becomes a source of pain and manipulation? This is the devastating reality for those who grow up with a narcissistic mother. A narcissistic mother may present a charming facade to the outside world, often appearing successful and devoted. This disconnect between the outward persona and the reality of their inner world is a hallmark of narcissism. One of the most insidious aspects is her inability to empathize with her children. While a healthy mother responds to her child's emotional needs, a narcissistic mother sees her children as extensions of herself. This lack of empathy creates a profound sense of emotional isolation for the child. A narcissistic mother sees her children as instruments to fulfill her own needs. These needs revolve around maintaining a sense of superiority and control. One way she uses her children is through triangulation, creating a constant sense of competition and inadequacy. Another tactic is parentification, where the child takes on adult roles and responsibilities before they are ready. Narcissistic mothers often set impossibly high standards for their children. These standards are about feeding the mother's need for validation and control. The child's achievements become trophies, proof of her superior parenting skills. This relentless pressure creates a constant state of anxiety and self-doubt in the child. For a child, a parent's love is the bedrock of their world. But for a child raised by a narcissistic mother, love becomes a twisted game. The narcissistic mother uses affection as a tool of manipulation. She showers the child with praise when they perform well, but withdraws love when they falter. This creates a confusing and painful dynamic for the child, constantly striving to earn their mother's love. Tragically, no amount of achievement can ever truly satisfy the narcissistic mother's insatiable need for validation. The narcissistic mother's need for control extends to every aspect of the child's life. This suffocating control stifles the child's individuality and autonomy. The child internalizes the belief that their worth is dependent on their mother's validation. This deep-seated need for approval can impact their career choices, relationships, and overall sense of well-being. The cumulative effect of conditional love and constant criticism takes a devastating toll on the child's sense of self. They internalize their mother's negative messages, believing they are fundamentally flawed. This deep-seated self-doubt can manifest in low self-esteem, anxiety, and depression. But with awareness and support, it is possible to break free from this toxic inheritance and reclaim your sense of self-worth. Gaslighting, distorting reality. Imagine growing up where your perceptions are constantly questioned and your feelings invalidated. This is the reality of gaslighting, a tactic often employed by narcissistic mothers. Gaslighting involves attempts to distort the child's perception of reality. The narcissistic mother might deny or twist past events, contradict the child's memories, or minimize their feelings. Over time, this constant questioning chips away at the child's confidence in their own perceptions. Lost in the labyrinth. The child's confused reality. As gaslighting continues, the child's sense of reality becomes increasingly distorted. They feel like they are living in a confusing labyrinth where nothing is certain. This can lead to self-doubt and insecurity, making them overly reliant on the narcissistic mother for validation. The emotional toll of gaslighting can be profound, leading to anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem. They may have difficulty forming healthy relationships, fearing they will be disbelieved or manipulated. The effects of gaslighting extend far beyond childhood, casting a long shadow over adult life. The deep-seated self-doubt and fear of judgment can impact relationships and career choices. Breaking free from the legacy of gaslighting requires courage, self-awareness, and a commitment to healing. The journey to recovery is challenging but essential to reclaim your voice and authentic self. Divide and conquer. Sibling rivalry as a weapon. In a family ruled by a narcissistic mother, sibling relationships become tools for manipulation. She creates a dynamic of competition and division among her children. Sibling rivalry takes on a toxic dimension, with children pitted against each other. The narcissistic mother thrives on this dynamic, keeping her children emotionally dependent on her. This manipulation undermines sibling bonds, fostering competition, jealousy, and insecurity. The golden child and the scapegoat. Uneven battlegrounds. The golden child is the recipient of the mother's favor, while the scapegoat becomes the target of blame. This dynamic is about the narcissistic mother's need for control. The golden child may feel pressure to maintain their perfect image, while the scapegoat endures constant criticism. This can lead to low self-esteem, anxiety, and depression for the scapegoat. Both children suffer under this dynamic, struggling with feelings of anger, resentment, and loneliness. Healing the wounds of division. Reclaiming family bonds. The impact of a narcissistic mother's manipulation on sibling relationships can be long-lasting. Healing requires breaking free from the cycle of manipulation and reclaiming agency over your life. Open communication with siblings can help rebuild trust and foster understanding. Healing is a process, not a destination, requiring patience and self-compassion. With support, it is possible to break free from toxic patterns and create a more loving family dynamic. Breaking free. A journey of self-discovery. Freeing yourself from the grip of a narcissistic mother is a courageous act of self-preservation. It's a journey of self-discovery, reclaiming your identity and breaking free from toxic patterns. This journey begins with realizing you are not responsible for your mother's happiness. The first step is acknowledging the reality of the situation, facing the painful truth that your mother inflicted deep emotional wounds. This recognition is essential for breaking free from denial and self-blame. It allows you to see yourself and your experiences with clarity and compassion. Begin separating your identity from your mother's. Challenge the negative beliefs instilled in you. Recognize her perceptions are a reflection of her dysfunction, not your worth. Breaking free means giving yourself permission to grieve the mother you never had. Acknowledge the pain of the lost childhood and missed opportunities for unconditional love. This grief is a necessary part of the healing process, allowing you to release pent-up sadness and anger. Setting boundaries. Protecting your emotional well-being. Setting boundaries is an essential part of reclaiming your life from a narcissistic mother. Boundaries are not about punishing your mother or cutting her out of your life entirely, though that may be necessary in some cases. Instead, they are about protecting yourself from further emotional harm and creating the space you need to heal and grow. Establishing boundaries with a narcissistic mother can be challenging, as she will likely resist any attempts to limit her control or challenge her perception of the relationship. She may react with anger, guilt trips, or manipulation, trying to draw you back into the familiar patterns of dysfunction. It's essential to stay firm in your resolve, reminding yourself that you have the right to protect your emotional well-being, even if it means disappointing her. Boundaries can take many forms, and the specific boundaries you choose will depend on your individual circumstances and the nature of your relationship with your mother. You might start by limiting contact, reducing the frequency and duration of phone calls, visits, or emails. You might also set boundaries around what topics you are willing to discuss, refusing to engage in conversations that are emotionally draining or triggering. One of the most important boundaries you can set is around your own emotional space. This means refusing to take responsibility for your mother's feelings, no longer allowing yourself to be manipulated by her guilt trips or emotional outbursts. It's about recognizing that you are not responsible for fixing her or making her happy, and that her emotional well-being is not your burden to bear. Embracing healing, therapy, support, and self-care. Healing from the wounds of a narcissistic mother is an ongoing process, not a one-time event. It requires patience, self-compassion, and a willingness to confront the painful legacy of your past. While the journey may be challenging at times, it is ultimately a journey of liberation, leading you towards a life of greater authenticity, self-love, and emotional freedom. Therapy can be an invaluable resource on this journey, providing a safe and supportive space to explore your experiences, process your emotions, and develop healthy coping mechanisms. A skilled therapist can help you understand the dynamics of narcissistic abuse, challenge negative thought patterns, and begin to rebuild your sense of self-worth. In addition to therapy, support groups can offer a sense of community and understanding. Connecting with others who have experienced similar challenges can help you feel less alone and can provide valuable insights and coping strategies. Sharing your story with others who understand can be incredibly validating and empowering, reminding you that you are not defined by the pain of your past. Self-care is also crucial for healing and growth. This involves making time for activities that bring you joy, nourish your spirit, and help you reconnect with your authentic self. It might include spending time in nature, pursuing creative outlets, engaging in physical activity, or simply taking time for quiet reflection and relaxation. Reclaiming your life. A future free from narcissism. Healing from a narcissistic mother is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. It is about reclaiming your voice, your truth, and your inherent worth. You are not defined by the pain of your past, but by the strength and courage you have shown. Remember, you are not alone. Reach out to trusted friends, family members, therapists, or support groups. Share your story, embrace your vulnerability, and receive the love you deserve. Healing is about integrating experiences into a new narrative, emerging stronger and more resilient. Embrace the freedom of reclaiming your life. Rediscover your passions, nurture your dreams, and cultivate relationships built on mutual respect and love. This is your time to heal, grow, and create a future filled with hope and joy.